Says you're live.
I think I might be. Just gonna wait a couple of minutes for a few people to get here, and then we'll get going.
Get going.
Get gold. There's no gold, unfortunately. No visual gold today.
Dig for gold.
Dig for gold, indeed. I think we should try that. Hey, Overseer, how you doing, my man?
Oh wow! Oh, you're really live. Oh, great.
Oh yeah, super live. More live than your body has room for.
No, my body can handle a bit.
Yeah. Can it though?
Oh yes.
Can it handle enough?
You want to see?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry that there's no face cam this evening, guys. I'm absolutely exhausted and it shows. So I'm just gonna not show my face today.
He didn't put up any makeup. Never mind. I tried to make a joke. Things going on.
When you say there's when you say there's too many noises, Wibblefish, what do you mean?
That's a Connor. Wibblefish is Connor.
Is it just too many loud noises? Today was a magnificent day. What's going on, Overseer? What's happened? Have you been offered the job of King of the World again? Not sure your face. What are you, Breen? Draconian says hi.
Evening, Draconian.
Right, so today we're going to have a quite a relaxed stream, to be honest with you. There's going to be no stressful coding, really. We're going to look at some of the parts of this, I think it's fair to say. Some of what we're doing, and I think we're going to look at sound. That's one of the things that we want to look at. We'll have a chat about the in-game UI and what our intent is for that. And I think you're going to be doing a little bit of particle work that we'll be able to show off as well, aren't you?
Yes.
So it's not going to be a massively long stream, but it's just it gives us the chance to have a chat about Ages of the Federation, its development, show a little tiny bit off, and answer any questions that you guys have got about modding, just in case you want to get into it yourselves. Well, I think it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Just remember, we'll answer every question wrong because we don't need no competition.
Commander Mike would like to know why school constantly has to get in the way of my streams. I'm sorry, Mike.
School is for the weak.
It's not. Go to school. Go to school, kids.
Don't do school. Don't skip your drugs.
Technicist is already taking the piss. Says, I hope you can code more than one ability. No, I'm going to stay off the code today. When I'm trying to talk to people, it just never works. I can't cope. I can only do one thing at once, even at the best of times. Yeah. So I can't
pee anything in a while yet, so I don't think it's that.
Don't you make me look at the commits. I'm sure there's one, in the early 90s that I did.
Ish.
Something like that. Anyway. Alright, so, nothing. You impressed Blizzard with your presentation. What is Blizzard the games manufacturer that makes various kind of MOBAs and stuff like that? And
Connor, you're not fooling anyone.
What's a mod? Oh, we don't know either, mate. But yeah, so I think the first thing that we want to do is we want to probably... Should we start by talking about the UI?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing to talk about. Well, alright, let's open up the game. Oh, hang on.
Luckily, our secret faction menu is now a bit...
Yeah, okay, so when I said let's open up the game, quite clearly I was thinking, I know, let's open up our test version of Nemesis. Let's fix that. I know, so organised. I did a pull though, in my defence.
Nobody wants to know that.
Hey Jarrell, how you doing? Heroes of the Storm, StarCraft 2, Overwatch, and a few more silly things to toy around. Good stuff, mate. So, what do you expect to get out of that, Overseer? What's your end goal by impressing the developers? Hey, Stefan, how you doing? Do you play Third Age as well? I see it on your desktop. Yes, I really enjoy Third Age. I think it's great. I play... Is Code a nightclub in Sheffield? All right, let's exit that.
Just trolling us now.
I kind of want to go. Are you inviting me, Connor? Is that what's happening?
Still loading up the wrong mod.
No, it's all right. I've started loading up the right one now. It's fine. Everything's okay. Kind of. Probably. What was the saying, Centurion? Oh, that was it. Yes, I like to play it with the DAC mod installed. Divide and Conquer mod. Sub mod. I think it really does help. Right, one thing that I will do is I'm going to just turn the music off for a moment in-game. Off your pop.
Look at me, I'm afraid of copyrights.
I'm not just afraid, I'm terrified. So you can see, guys, if I just make it big, that we've got a really nice opening menu here. This was designed by Hobbs. Hobbs 203, is it?
Yes.
And he's going to be working on these menus as we move forward a little bit more. And now not all of them are done. This particular, the single player menu, is kind of half done.
Mostly done.
Yeah, and Hobbs has been a busy bee, bless his cotton socks. He's moved properties, and I think he's moved jobs as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So Hobbs has been massively busy recently.
He's on the road a lot for work.
He is. Oh God, what's he said?
He tried to fool me last week in a drunken furor, ended up with black pudding.
I call that a win. I really like black pudding.
That's where the black pudding came from, mate.
Oh dear. Yeah, we went for a delicious breakfast the morning after release.
Jirao, there's nothing like that. Ages of the CBS lawsuit, ages of the Federation has nothing to do with Axstar, we swear.
Look, if CBS wants to support us by getting embroiled in a lengthy legal battle with our pockets, they're probably not going to do very well.
Oh God, you think you've changed the background to something better, Connor? So what?
What? Oh no, what is it? Oh,
he's changing it. He's going to change it to Weyoun constant.
Are you talking about this background?
No, he's talking about he's going to replace the background to We Are Klingons that JP.
Ah, we are Bing Bongs.
You remember that?
Yes, I do. Now, Hobbs did complete part of this segment as well, but he fully completed this segment, as you can see. So you've got the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans that you can select right now. You can see it highlights them quite nicely. One thing that we couldn't do is we couldn't click here on the particular races in order to say, yes, I want to be them. So we've just had to go for the tick button, like so. But we're definitely getting there.
Hey, Hobbs is here as well.
Hey, Hobbs.
Black pudding, is that what the black pudding is what the kids call it these days? No, it's
yeah, that's what it is. But we're going to go through the player setup eventually and all sorts of stuff as well. Now, the in-game UI, I'm hopefully going to be taking a look at that in the near future. So let's just load into a map. We'll look at the stock in-game UI, and I think it might be worth us talking about what can move, what can't move, what kind of restrictions that we have as developers.
As an answer to Jirao, yes, we're going to fill the entire screen with lens flares. And there'll be a special sub-mod called JJ Simulator.
JJ Simulator. JJ versus Michael Bay. Are you even blind?
If you aren't blinded by lens flares, you'll be blinded by explosions.
What's the fourth race? We haven't got a clue. It's just a blank spot, mate.
A fourth race?
It's just a thing. Don't worry about that. Let us worry about that. Don't you worry about it.
Now that we've removed the logo, people are asking. It's funny.
Oh, Wibble. No, that's not right. Connor, no.
Bad.
Raw. That's just a bag of pig's blood. That's not good.
Is that what black pudding actually is?
Yeah, it's, blood and entrails and, brains and eyeballs and all that good stuff. It's like a sausage that somebody poured blood on there and stuck in a bag. It's delicious. This is not the fourth race you are looking for.
Islanders
it's not.
are sick.
I know. That's how we like it. So, okay. We're here on the stock UI now.
According to the YouTube stream, we're still on the loading screen.
Alright.
Alright, Centurion claims to know what the fourth race is.
Alright, Centurion. Why don't you tell us what the fourth race is? We're probably going to have to wait because there's going to be some latency.
It said on YouTube, so in about 5-6 minutes he's going to answer.
Overseer, you remember us talking about that? The Pew Pew sound pack? I spoke ages ago.
You mean the Max Pack?
Yeah, about making the Max Pack, which was just you doing sound effects while you were modelling things. Yeah, all of that. Meow. Oh, God. Brains. I don't know if you've got it right. Is it going to be zombies?
Tasty, lovely. Tastes lovely on a full fry up. So that's why we're having the conversation, okay? So that's where the stream's at.
Okay.
Oh god, XD Toasty DX.
Hey, Toasty, how's things, my man?
Wibblefish, I know what the fourth race is. Of course you fucking do, don't you? You get for being a developer of the mod.
What, knowing things? That's never happened to me. Why don't I know things?
Oh, you drink and you know things.
Yeah. I drink things, I don't know things.
Well, you know that you drink.
I do. Well, I mean, to start with. Viking says, I know what it is, but I'm still modelling my ship. Ah, Viking is of course... Viking's playing Space Engineers at the moment. He's at some point he's going to be joining us in the little Space Engineer series that we've been doing. So, like myself, we both got into Space Engineers earlier, as did Max, because I wanted to show that I can build ships. Anyway, it crashed into the planet, and that ship I made is gone now. I'm not very happy about that, Max.
I'm not just any Cardassian.
Farside Jake, thank you so much for the follow. Really good of you, my man. Right, so, we were talking about the UI. I'm good, Toasty, I'm good, thank you so much.
I'm working on particle stuff.
How bad is the latency, Centurion? Is it real bad? I'm UVing and trolling between rage. Okay.
Oh, is that Romulan ship finally going to get finished, Connor? Are you finally going to finish that ship that I've been asking you to do for a month?
Indeed. Now then, the UI. Come on, Max. Come on, we can do this. There are certain limitations that we're bound by when it comes to the UI, aren't there? And I think we'll go to the top right-hand corner first. I think that's a good one. We've got this... What's happening?
The picture of gold to cut pop.
What? So good, isn't it? I couldn't help myself. I had to put that in.
I still think you need that stairs as like a band picture.
Oh, Truckabuckly. Stairs Truckabuckly. Ah, yeah, that one. Maybe I will one day. You never know. I've also got the I find this whole procedure offensive GIF for on the off chance that people raid the stream, and that's something that can happen in Twitch. Like somebody who's got a load of viewers can bring them all over to your stream and raid you. And it's got Gul Damar being checked to see if he's a found.
You should get that gif of where he gets his ass checked out by Akira with the regenerator.
Oh yeah.
Thermal regenerator.
Is that for donations? Ass rub.
Ooh. Ah.
Right, so the top right-hand corner of the UI, you've got the little black market segment, the little drop-down black market segment.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that's.
I can't be moved. We cannot move that anyway. So it's.
I think we can move it. But I know what we can't.
It's by degrees though, so it's always got to be kind of in the top right-hand quadrant, if you will, of the UI. So we can't get it elsewhere.
What I know we can't deal with it is it's not faction specific.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are certain things that we can do with it. We could remove it entirely, and I think that's something that we've discussed before, because people could still click on Criminal Underground, at least that's what it's called here, and go to the black market and buy things and sell them within this screen. So that's a possibility. We don't know if we want to get rid of it yet, because, as I say, we haven't designed the UI as we want it in the future fully. However, there's a bunch of other things that you can move fairly... Oh, hello.
Officer says, stop talking, show us more pew pew, upside down, exclamation point.
I could do that, but that's not why we're here. So this entire bottom segment of the UI, it all needs to stay at the bottom. So kind of typically in the bottom half, and kind of there is a cut-off point, probably about a quarter of the way in, that you can't really go beyond. But we can do a fair amount with this. We can move this picture around fairly freely. These boxes here, where you select your ships, etc., we can move that around fairly freely within this quadrant, as we also can with kind of diplomacy reports, etc.
We can also make the button slightly bigger, which is something we're going to do.
Yeah, that's certainly something that we're going to talk about in a moment as well. Now, we've had a look at other mods UIs and other games UIs, strategy games specifically. And we feel that one thing that's fairly uniform with a lot of games now is they've got bigger, slightly more detailed buttons than we used to have. Kind of back in the days of Sins. I know it's only about 10 years ago now, but things have moved on, and you've got bigger, punchier buttons. I think a lot of what computer games try and do these days is grab your attention with every detail. I think that's fair to say, Max? And we'd like to emulate that to a certain limited point. A really, really good example of nice big beefy UI buttons that you really want to press is Sins of the Prophets, particularly in their research screen. Their buttons, I think they're about twice the size of the ones we've currently got in.
I actually sampled the size and made a template.
Huh?
There's a template in files.
Okay, we can take a look at that. So,
Based on their size.
I'll tell you what then. Okay, in that case, let's minimize it. Whereabouts is the template?
It's in the reference files folder, which is...
Oh, reference is spelled incorrectly. I see the one. He's never going to forgive me for that. I can feel him getting mad. Is it template SOTP or just simply template that we want to look at? SOTP. Okay, so let's take a peek.
Because I was discussing with Lava on how big we could make them, and he said, like, well, have a look at SOTP sizes, and yeah, so we'll see. Check their size, and I already made a bunch of icon stuff. Templates. Oh,
I see. So what you've done here is you've created a nice PSD, so it's going to be easy for us to do what we want with it. Yep. So engineering border, you've got specific ideas about what you want to do with these, haven't you?
If you make it a bit bigger, for example, like if you go full screen and zoom a bit in, like Photoshop full screen.
How's that?
Give it a sec to catch up. The picture's better, yeah. Now, if you turn on the engineering border, and if you scroll down, for example, and make, I should take tactical border.
We'll take tactical border, no problem. So instead of the engineering border, we'll turn that off and put tactical border on. There it is.
All right. Now, if you turn on, if you scroll up a bit further.
Thanks, Connor. Scroll up a little further. Yep.
You'll see numbers 1 and 2 there.
Yep. There's, in fact, what we'll do is...
I'm just watching this Twitch stream to kind of catch up with myself.
We're going to put tactical slot in there just so we can cut that bit out.
Well, that's the point. That's actually what I was going to show.
Okay.
Well, you're going to need the slot. So you put the number on.
There's the number. Yep, got it in.
All right. Now, if you take fed weapons, for example.
Fed weapons. Boop.
There should be something in fed weapons at least.
There you go.
So, for example, you can take, if you turn on all 3.
I have.
You turn the slot layer on, like on the tactical borders.
Tactical slot, there it is.
And there you've got a level 2 phaser upgrade, for example.
That's good. And of course we can change it to a level 1 as well, so we'll do that.
Exactly.
Boop, boop. Oh, level 3, indeed. So there's your level 2 and level 3 phaser upgrades. That's the kind of design that we want to go for. Apparently your mic is cutting out just a smidgen. It's not...
sorry, is this better?
That's much better, mate. Yeah. At least I think it is, anyway. Hey, Termit, how you doing, my man? So that is the kind of icons that we want to go with. And are they twice the size? Let's just...
Ish.
It's 85 over 60, so yeah, more or less is twice the size. I think they're 32 usually in height, the old ones.
I wouldn't know, mate.
Yeah, I think the old ones. The old ones were 32 in height, I believe. So this one is 60 by 85, so it's a significantly larger icon. So you'd probably, if we go back to the game, you'd probably find that each of these icons is. It would probably. Well, say we'll take this icon here, it will probably end about there and go down a little bit further as well. So nice big block for you to click on.
Nice.
And we'll be able to get more detail out of each of those icons. It's going to mean a fair amount of rejigging, and I'm hoping to get to that next week. Oh, and hey, look at that, by the way. We fixed the string error. It turns out I just misspelt something.
And Jed, your errors turned off because it showed the error as soon as I started up the game.
Did it? I can't believe that from that. I think that's why I was confused, because I don't even know why I had errors turned off, to be honest. Most bemusing.
That's a very good question.
Well, just there we go. But we'll also do certain things with kind of just as an example. We've got our empire ranking, etc. They don't need to be in the same place, so we might have them as a single band across the top. We might have them on the right hand side. A lot of this menu is subject to moving around.
This feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
We're also going to do something with the top menus as well. It's fair to say that most of this can move around fairly freely. These top buttons in the middle here, that can move to the right or the left quite easily. Most of our credit summary, crystal summary, etc., that can move around quite freely. It can move down as well a little bit to probably about here. We're not going to move it that far down because it'd just be in your way. But I think it'll be good. We've looked at a lot of UIs. I really like the Dawn of the Reapers UI. It's got a nice little circular picture, which is this central picture here on the left-hand side, and then it's got quite a nicely layered menu system. Sins of the Prophets has got a great one as well. A lot of people, myself included, quite like Ascendancies, because it's nice and simple. One thing that
Nothing wrong with Ascendancies UI.
It's just got a valuable simplicity to it, because it means you can concentrate more on the ships and the effects. Which is, how can that possibly be a bad thing with with ships of that quality? And I think we are angling for the same thing in a lot of ways, aren't we? We do put a lot of time. Well, you put a lot of time and effort into the quality of the ships and the effects.
Well, I'm not the only one who puts a lot of time into ships.
No, but I don't. I mean, I'm not. I'm not a what's its face, an artist by any stretch of the imagination. So,
What's his face?
What's its face? You know, the thing. Okay, let's just take a look. Is the Constitution model done yet? Yes, it is, Jenna. It's on the ModDB page. In fact, I should be able to open the ModDB page.
I can actually link it on Sketchfab. You can, where they can look directly at the model.
Here we go. Let me just try and find the ModDB page as well. Are you already a moderator for me?
Me?
Yeah.
I think so.
Otherwise, you're not going to be able to link peeps with things. You can send it direct to me, and I'll
Can't do it.
Send it.
Moderator.
Send it to me. Write something in one of the chats then. Something good. There you go.
I said make me mods. Do it.
Put user in timeout. That's the one. Add moderator. Oh no, I wrote wrong. Remove.
Ban. I linked our Constitution model that we have in the chat.
Excellent. There you go. So that's in the YouTube chat. Do you want to do it in the other chat as well?
I'm not registered on Twitch.
You're not registered on Twitch. Okay, so we won't look at that. But the conning is found on the Ages of the Federation modding page as well. Oh, is that the Asia? That's the Asia. That's not what. This is not the TOS ship we were looking for.
Asia's not a TOS ship.
Oh, she is.
She's a Romulan war ship.
The other one's got bells on, mate. That is the most TOS ship I've ever seen in my life.
Ow.
No gold. Anyway, it's in there somewhere.
Link is broken. Goes to a 404. It does not.
It does, though.
It does?
Yeah.
Shouldn't. Get in there. Again. And Link's in the picture.
Do you know what, lads? Everyone's saying that my TOS card is revoked. Do you know what? Spawn entity.
That's weird. It's not allowing for a long URL. Tiny URL. I'm just going to tiny URL it.
Okay.
Right, gents, you might be able to try this one. Error. Edit to try again. Not allowed to link a tiny URL on YouTube.
I don't know why.
Try to link this in a chat. Link it in here. Centurion there is definitely an in-game shot of the Connie on ModDB. Pretty sure it is.
We've got Invisi ships. They're confused about life. They did not spawn anywhere near where I wanted them to.
No, we don't have the Connie on ModDB yet.
I'm sure you do. You posted pictures. Huh. Well, do you know what? I can just spawn one.
And let's see. Yes, I do have Patreon too.
Interestingly, all the cap ships seem to be spawning somewhere random.
It's where you have the selected.
Oh, look, it's spawning over here. I don't understand.
Where are they spawning?
Nobody knows. Tell you what, maybe if I just quit this segment and go back in, it'll do as it's told.
Where are they?
I don't know. I just don't know. Have you linked your Patreon, Max?
No. But I don't do much with it, to be fair.
Speaking of that, I'm meant to do a Patreon post tonight. I'm gonna have to. There you go. We'll load in, and we will hopefully be able to spawn one now.
Standing by.
That sounds a lot more positive, actually. It was being all funny, I think, because I tabbed out for so long. Spawn entity, active player, Titan, Federation, this one.
Ready to provide cover for the fleet.
There she is.
Just make sure we don't show that thing off too much yet. She's still being teased by Orion in the onboard.
Sir, I'll never fail.
Yeah, this is the only tease you're allowed of it, guys, until Orion is ready for you. It wasn't paused. It was paused.
Yeah, I'm getting $0 a month. Yay. Last update, September 30th, 2017.
Yeah, it's a really nice Connie, this one. Which version did you base this model on?
It's based on a series version with some modernization tweaks of a slight Aztecing.
Mm.
To make it look better.
Have you changed the nacelles a little bit as well? Just a smidge?
These are super duper accurate nacelles using the best schematics out there. Supplied by none other than Michael Wiley himself. He supplied me some very, very high res stuff. Even the pattern on the grills is accurate.
I like it. Alright, that's all you get to see. So that's the TOS ship. right?
Yeah. They're gonna make it boom boom.
Bringing out the big guns. Need something destroyed?
I'm just going to move the Asia up next to it, shall I?
Look at the hull texture, it's completely different.
You're telling me that this isn't TOS?
No, look at the bridge module. Bridge module's Enterprise era.
Nah, mate.
And the cells are different.
Nah, mate.
It's got a different engineering hull, different hull texture, mate. You don't even know. Vorak, yes, we have TOS shuttles.
Same shit, mate.
Nope.
Look, if we're gonna go,
Need
Ow.
something destroyed?
look at the difference.
Battle stations.
Plenty. Joe for Play-Doh does not have a blown-up model yet.
There was a couple of ships that you'd recently updated, wasn't there?
All of them.
Very, very recently, over the last week. Do you want to show those off?
Ares and the Magellan have been latest.
Ready and able.
Thank you, Vorak. I
So,
have a cheat to get those working. Ares is the attack cap, and the Magellan is the command cruiser.
so here's the Ares. I've already got it out. This has been updated. You can see, or you should be able to see, hopefully, the glows from the engines are now reflected on the engineering hull, of which I don't think they were doing that before, were they?
Nope.
Further to this,
There's also the detail at the back of the extendee section where the engineering where the impulse engines are on.
yep.
The top bit has got more detail. The baked line up on the bottom, of course, you can see that really nicely where the sensor dome is illuminating the deflector dish.
Mm-hmm.
And the windows are actually reflective on the hull as well. Yeah, it turned out really nice.
What Jiral's arguing it. Apparently, the Asia class is 2200 until 2220. Only 20 years lifespan. It's very rare for a ship in the Fed. And not Enterprise
So,
era.
and- Giral, I never said it was Enterprise era. It was Romulan War era. And also the Asia class is a Fanon design, so it's whatever the hell we make it up to be.
That's true. We've changed all the rules, haven't we? Have you just redone the crossfield as well?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Port cap.
Capital ship, Fed, and E support.
Just tell me where to go.
No, Centurion, no visible phaser nodes.
Right. Long story short, we lied to you. We're not changing things to a Discovery visual.
I think people got that.
Yeah, I mean, they've probably worked that out at this point, but I thought I'd just be very clear about it. I think it's best that I do so. Sorry, I was scratching my foot then, so I don't know if you could hear me right.
No. Sorry about that.
But there we go. So the crossfield has now been updated. You can see that we've got these lovely the warp grill reflection on the wings here. A little bit of an...
And the fact that it actually has glowing warp nacelles, the blue glow is actually also new. The original, you can see it very well also near the shuttle bay. You see a very nice, the lights all reflecting off itself and everything.
Yeah, it's very nice, that. And I think you also did some extra work on the deflector dish as well, didn't you, to get reflections going there?
Nah, no new work, but there was the phaser detail modeled in. The light map baking is all it's just a rendering trick, but there's just a bunch of more model detail added.
Yeah.
Saucer rim got some more detail. You see that's actually modeled in now. The phases are modeled in, the hatches are modeled in. There's some other little bits that are modeled in now.
Yes, it's the hoof timeline.
Who was that said?
It was Jiral that said it, so it's the Max Hoof timeline. We're just going to call it the Hoof timeline for short.
Yeah, that's
So and there we go. There's some new ships, and hopefully I'll be able to update you a little bit more on what I've been doing.
Designed by me, Toasty.
It was indeed. It was designed by Max himself. Toasty would like to know if it's based on the fan design. Well, it depends on which fan design. There've been a few.
No, it's no. Like I said, I designed that.
So yeah,
They're fan-
I've heard that you're a fan.
Not of the design, but I'm a fan of how this turned out.
Yeah, I think it's worked really nicely, and it's fit in with what I think we wanted to do, because we were unsatisfied with the difference between Discovery and what we expect from Federation ships.
The TOS era? Yeah, this is no good transition in my opinion.
Now, please don't take this to be me suggesting that Discovery is a bad show. I don't think it is a bad show. In fact,
well,
the last few episodes I quite liked Discovery, but I like the storyline rather than the ship visuals. I must admit, the ship visuals I don't like so much.
Yeah, let's do a series about the Klingon War. Let's have most of the Empire episodes not be about the Klingon War. Travel back in time to avoid... Travel to the future to avoid Klingon War.
The Obsidian Order does not sponsor Gul's opinion on Discovery. Well, there we are.
Not just any disruptor. A disruptor modified to emit a Nadion pulse. Now, Overseer, if you can answer the question that I'm about to ask you. Which character made a disruptor, modified it with a Nadion pulse? Which character, which episode, and played by which actor?
He definitely wasn't in Dune. Did I help?
No, I said just a regular disruptor. Not a Veron T disruptor. Not most toys.
Oh, Joe4Play wants a video on Discovery overall. Oh, blimey. I don't know if I could do that.
If you let me do it, it'll be a rant.
God knows. Firefly, probably one of the best sci-fi series I've ever seen in my life. Thoroughly enjoy it. Absolutely love it. Right.
The ending of the season was also ridiculous. Like, alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a bomb in a volcano and we're going to give a trigger to a random person that we still can't really trust, who was kind of our prisoner. But it's not a dead man switch, so if you shoot the controller, nothing's ever going to happen.
Maybe it is a dead man switch. I don't know.
Just...
Mirror episodes were the best ones. Other than that, it kind of sucked. I felt like the...
No Spore Drive, no.
No Spore Drive, absolutely not.
Spore Drive.
I felt like the last 4 episodes overall were very good, and the only episode that I really enjoyed and I really got behind was I don't think this was Mirror, but it was the Mud episode where he invaded the ship and they had that Psychogold time.
It was a fun
thing.
episode.
I think it was really fun, and I think it was very, very well acted by the guy that played Mud, and that's what made that episode good.
Dwight as well, so.
But yeah, so genuinely, that was a good episode.
Beats, Bears, Battlestar
Galactica. Wibblefish O'Connor says the Connie doesn't have visible phaser nodes.
Shh. Connor, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you stirring trouble?
He just likes stirring trouble. Ooh, that's a question. Here we go. Are the max warp speeds going to play a role in this mod?
Yes.
Yep, to a limited extent they are.
I wouldn't say limited. It's going to be a pretty big gameplay factor.
Yeah. Different races and different ships within said races will go at different warp speeds.
We can't do different ships.
You want to do them all the same, do you?
It's not doable.
That's terrible.
Can't both change.
You're going to have to change it.
No.
Alright then.
It's just a player file.
Okay. All the ships are going at the same speed for the entire mod.
No, for the race. Bloody hell.
Oh, that doesn't make sense and I don't like it. It makes me mad.
I know.
Stupid limitations. Oh well. That is what it is.
Oh,
Sins 2! Sins 2! Sins 2! What?
Luckily, warp speed isn't determined by the cell design.
No, that is true. I think CBS knows they can't justify saying it's in the Prime Universe anymore, so they just... Yeah, actually, they just don't say anything, Jenna, is what they've done. Initially, they said it was in the Prime Universe because they felt like it would garner an audience. There's been a lot of backlash to that, so they're just not saying anything anymore.
It's corporate meddling, man.
How does one stare in Klingon? Asks Vorik.
I think Viking. Yep, Viking got it right down. That's how you stare in Klingon.
Entirely correct. Saki says Captain Lorca was awesome. It's alright.
Could the crossword have a micro jump, warp jump? Yes, it might do.
That's actually something that we've discussed,
But
Technicist.
probably not, because it doesn't fit the gameplay style, particularly of what that class of ship is going to do.
I think we discussed an early form of the Picard maneuver, didn't we? Kind of a combat jump.
Yeah, but we've
to,
already got most abilities for the ship set.
We have, yeah. But I think it was discussed internally. We said we kind of wanted to tip our hat to it, but not have a spore drive because it's silly.
Yes. On second thought, let's not have a spore drive. It is silly.
Yes, agreed. Could you use the
think-
warp
I think
speed
the abilities
as the
that we
speed
have
inside the
now-
Gravwell? No.
For the support cap, we now have target weapons, target antimatter storage, tractor beam, and a passive. So no sport drive jump. Sorry. Ah! Orbeez, get off my stream!
I've done something bad. I clicked something that Bane did earlier, and it went mental.
Having string errors now.
No, I don't like this mesh.
Oh, which ability?
It's an ability on the NST. I think it's a scouting ability. It sent a probe to the next system along.
That's broken then. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that. But I still need to implement the model for it anyway, so...
Well, it looks like it's going somewhere. It's certainly doing its thing.
Zoom in.
It is a combat nanite swarm at the moment, I think. Oh, or is it?
Can you tell it where to go?
No. So it's just doing what it wants to do. At the moment.
Oh, that will be fixed. It's a different string not found overseer. It's on a different thing.
Oh, you can tell it where to go via an ability from the looks of it. So you say, I want you to scout over here, and it looks like it's going to go and do that now.
No, it doesn't have a hyperdrive.
Oh.
It'll be fixed.
Yeah, we'll get it sorted, I'm sure.
Ringu, with Star Trek based in multiple stars as well, since it's normally one is with maybe a bit more. Could you change the planets to stars with standard mining nodes being done as colonies so they can take control of a system, or would that be way too much? It's a really interesting idea. We considered it, however...
We spoke about it years ago for SDA3, didn't we?
Yes, but there's a reason we haven't done it. And it's a visual thing. It's that in the suns in the game, the actual stars actually emit the light source. They determine it for an in-game system. And if we were to do what you suggest, we would only have a light source from the star and one star, and it would look really weird. Oh yes, we did promise to show that off, didn't we?
Jenna said, I thought I saw a Romulan ship, so I thought I'd just... This is the latest in the arsenal, isn't it?
Romulan Gallant Wing, model by our amazing Hobbs, textures by moi.
It's nice. I mean,
there's a carrier variant in the works. Didn't get it.
What's the big old tube version?
The Pleasure Bird.
Yeah.
It's a colony cap.
Standing by.
Colony.
All shall join the unity in time.
Last time we're showing my oh no, wait.
So that's your colony cap. I really like these old school ones. Are these FASA designs or Starfleet Museum designs?
FASA / Starfleet Battles.
Starfleet Battles, okay.
And I think the colony cap is from the Space Timeline Chronology book.
Okay.
It's a chronology book, and it's based on that design at least. I mean, it really that's a weenus.
I really like this this bit at the back here. It looks super duper cool. The anus. Thanos. That's the technical term.
Burning ring.
Burning ring. Oh no.
Yes, obviously, it's probably correct that you saw that in a few comics. The design base has been around for a while.
But there we go. There's a couple of Romulan ships just to whet your appetite.
Show the other two caps off as well.
Okay. I wasn't planning to because I felt like you might not want me to, but I'm actually quite pleased that we're going to. So what we got? We've got command.
Yes, at Bingu, but it wouldn't change the lighting on the ships, meaning that even if you're facing like in front of a star, which would be a fake star, it would the ship would be in the dark. So we decided not to do that.
Okay, so here we have the Battlehawk.
Tank.
And she is indeed tanky. I love that those engines almost seem Klingon, don't they?
Yeah, I really love the Battlehawk. It just looks like an older ship. Like those engines are surrounded.
It does. I'll tell you what I'd like to do actually while we're looking at all these things. I'd just like to change the skybox a couple of times in order to try.
You can't do that in the rendering option. It's worked for some reason. You can do that through the menu options.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
There used to be an option where you could do it through the dev menu, but for some reason it's not working for it yet.
Oh, isn't it?
Don't know why.
Oh, so we can't do it in here then.
But I think I might be able to link my models here in the chat, by the way, finally.
Well, you can see that a lot of these designs, they've actually got mythical birds underneath. And depending on the skybox that you choose...
I finally got to link my... What the hell?
That.
If you...
What's happening? You're going to need to explain what's occurring in your life.
If Sketchfab's just being weird.
Oh.
Maybe the link will work now. Alright, that's weird. If you copy then paste this link in a new... Oh, I see. It adds a bit of extra to it. If you copy and paste the link,
yeah.
Hold up.
That's 100% not Gul's fault this time. I know it's really unusual when things aren't my fault.
Damn it! It's just being annoying. If you go to Sketchfab and type Maxwell, my name, you should find my stuff.
Indeed. We'll take a look at the last one that we're going to show, which is the Rapture class battle cruiser, which of course isn't actually its name, but there we are. Swiftwing.
Yeah.
Swiftwing.
See, now you just change it to the stock backgrounds again.
Not bad. Ah! That one will do. That one's good enough. This one doesn't make me mad. But there we go. This is a nice one as well. And this is the... what does this one do?
Command cap?
Command me. It does. It is the command cap. You're quite right. I really like this one. It looks like it's weaker in battle, but like it's got a really good visual range, so I think it suits as a command cap. Very nice. Jarrell says Romulans used fusion power until the Klingon deal.
Yeah, I don't buy that. Right, the thing is, the Romulans are supposed to have had an interstellar war with another species, which is multiple light years away. Fusion-powered warp drive. See, that's a bit more believable, but still not completely something I would buy. I believe they'd had warp cores, but just very primitive in comparison maybe to the Feds, but not fusion-powered. You'd need warp energy in order to do it. Just saying they can invent plasma weapons, but not have any sort of advanced FTL, and still have an FTL. Yeah, but Warp 5 required the NX-1 to have a warp core, didn't it?
I'm not saying that there's stuff going on.
Jenna, that's that entire thing where they said they don't have any warp drive is based on a single line of TOS. Also, the Klingon deal was never officially made on screen on canon. The only reason people think that is because, well, they have D7s in an episode. Well, still, you can't. I mean, FTL is generally referenced as warp drive in Star Trek, and you can't have, you know, an interstellar war without warp drive.
No, I agree there. I fully agree there. I don't think it's plausible for the Romulans not to have had warp drive. It may have been that some of their ships didn't have warp drive at some point. Perhaps they created local ships that didn't have warp drive. That is possible because you can get around a system at impulse fairly quickly, can't you?
But you know, with impulse drive, if you go at high impulse, you get relativistic issues.
That's true.
That's why when traveling at high impulse, a low field warp bubble is generated around the ship to counter the time dilation effect.
I just puked in my brain.
You're easy to.
But there we go.
Longo wongle.
Bungo says there's a Babylon 5 mod that isn't dead for sins again. Ooh, I'll have to have a look at that.
Is there?
Ooh. Now, one of the things that you... I don't know if you've actually started doing any of it, bless you, but you were going to be looking at a couple of particle effects this evening, weren't you?
Yes, but I'm not going to do that.
we'll have to do that next week.
Because I don't have any... I looked at the abilities that Bane's put in, and they're all passives, so that...
Oh, so there's not going to be much going on.
No, the one that I could do is I just did already earlier today.
Can we show it off?
Yeah, it's on the Poseidon.
Poseidon. Okay, so let's go back.
You might want to turn the auto cast off on the ability.
I will do. Poseidon is a cruiser, isn't it?
Yes, frigate long range.
Frigate long range, Federation.
Federation.
D.
Whoa.
It's the D. There it is. So here's the Poseidon. Lovely ship. This is one of your favourite Legacy designs, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But it's got a new ability, which is called High Explosive Torpedo. It's also got something called Advanced Torpedoes, which I presume is going to be something I'll need to do for research.
Yeah, Bingo, the Sins does not have light sources. Unfortunately, it's a shame.
Adjust heading.
Some stuff that I've been looking at as well.
Alright,
You're sending it in alone, you madman. You absolute madman.
She's already in the fight. It's only against a couple of long ships. Sorry, cell ships.
And you know, cell ships, long ships, and a cruiser.
Right. So this actually will hit several ships, will it not?
It will target a single ship. But the explosion outwards will damage multiple ships.
Okay, so let's get ourselves over here and see if we can get several ships at once.
The radius is not that big, so you probably won't be able to. Well, maybe there's the cluster of ships there.
So I'm sending it against this cluster of cell ships here. Oh, mind you, they're not close to each other anymore. Oh, those sods. But no matter.
Good. Might want to follow the torpedo as it fires once.
I'm certainly going to try. There it goes! I missed it.
You can pause the game, right?
It's alright, we'll go again.
Fire all weapons.
So this is a new high-yield warhead. You can see, because it says high-yield warhead. And what this does is, when it impacts against an enemy ship, not only does it do more... Is that dead? Oh well. Not only does it do more damage than a standard torpedo, and you can see it's a lot bigger as well, from the standard photons there. It is dead, yep. But this will also do an area of effect around the ship. I think there's a stacking bonus as well that you've gone for, if I'm right in remembering.
No? Well, just, you know, the area of effect damage stuff. Just as an area of effect.
Should we go for one more?
Did you see the little ring that blasted out once it fired?
Well, I'm just looking at this cell ship now, so hopefully we'll be able to see the explosion nicely if I angle this way. Right, here we go. And that's done a hell of a lot of damage. Ooh, that's nice. Can that torp hurt friendlies?
Yes.
It can. Asking some good questions tonight, Bringer. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. But there you go. So that's what we've got going at the moment. Bane is working hard on the abilities.
Centurion, just to answer Centurion,
Ready and able.
maybe, but I just feel like it's 2 tubes because it always fired from the same spot. So the 1 or 2, and I found 2 to be more visually appealing than 6. They'd have to be really tiny torpedo tubes to be in the saucer like that. So I figured 2 would make more sense.
I think it's also one of those things, isn't it, where you've got to think, okay, so what suits gameplay in this particular circumstance?
Nah, I was on about the visual thing I did on the Connie, and I feel like 2 torpedo tubes work better on a Connie than 6.
Well, it was certainly 2 in the refit, wasn't it? Forward wise, anyway.
Kind of, you know, distance. Maybe it can fire 3 torpedoes from each session, which is sick.
Alter course.
Need to fix that shield mesh on that.
Yeah, on the small cell ship. I think the long cell ship's fine.
Oh, shield meshes. I think it almost makes it time to wrap up the stream, doesn't it?
I think so. I think we're there now. We just wanted to show...
Oh, look, you can see an ability
Oh, there
being
it
cast
goes.
there. You saw an ability being cast at the ship.
We did. See this fella, it's got... I presume that was some kind of Omega maneuver going on. Yep, attack pattern Omega. Which gives it much better ability cooldown rate. Now, I imagine there's going to be an extra ability on this as well. On the Jupiter.
Yes.
So there we go, guys. I hope that's been enjoyable. I know we've mainly just talked during the course of this, but at least you got to see a couple of the nice visuals that we're doing. Hopefully next week I'm going to have some, whether it's sketches or whether it's a work in progress item of the UI that I'm intending for just this home screen. I don't think I'm going to show much more other than the home screen, which is this one here. If I've got anything done in the research segment, I might show you, but I can't make any promises on that.
We might make a button or 2.
Yeah, perhaps we'll put 1 or 2 buttons in. I'll need to enlarge these buttons as well, so that's going to be fun.
Need to make a sheet for all the buttons.
Oh, sheet.
Let's make it easier than the last sheet.
A3 all icons, that was fun.
Let's not talk about A3 all icons. I'm gonna base it more on the stock method this time. So I got sheet 1, which is normal, sheet 2, which is hover over, sheet 3, which is pressed, and sheet 4, which is
A3
disabled.
all buttons is this one, by the way. Now,
So A3 all buttons 2 and 3.
There's also all buttons 2 and 3, and they're both roughly the same size as this. This is horrific, and it was absolutely the bane of my life for ages. I think I coded most of these in, didn't I? I don't think I did them all.
I helped. Hey Connor, doesn't this bring you back?
Yeah, man. Connor did a lot of these. Outer Exodus did a good number of them as well.
Oh yeah. Shame he's busy with the kids. I'd love to still have him on board.
And it's just one kid. Just the one babby. But he's doing well. He streams quite regularly as well on Twitch, so it might be worth you just going over there at some point and giving him a bit of love.
I need to make a Twitch account.
He does. He murders Kerbals on a regular basis, and I know you quite like watching Kerbals die. So
I am the perpetuator of Kerbal death on a daily basis. Well, not daily basis, but from time to time when I feel like I'm murdering Kerbals.
The Constitution indeed wasn't in the Zindi Arch. You're quite right.
Arc. It was in the Mirror arc. Well, in the Mirror double whammy episode.
Whammy.
Whammy.
It would have torched the Zindi. You're quite right.
You would have you better have lots of green, red, and yellow butts. Now we're gonna have green, red, yellow, and blue. Science, engineering, and tactical.
Joel says, Gul, if you need someone to do Trek research, let me know. That's something that we always value, like particularly on the ModDB page, when people throw out ideas, either whether it's on the images that we post or whether it's on the homepage itself. We do read everything on our ModDB page.
Everything.
Hey, Crafty Dog, how you doing, my man? So if you have ideas that you would like to see in the mod, or even if you just want to talk Trek, pop a comment in there. We'll more than likely answer it. We're fairly good like that.
Yep, and it may not be sarcastic.
We can't promise it. I mean, we have devolved into
said
GIF conversations before now, haven't we?
I miss this.
Me too. But guys, as always, if you've got any questions, pop them in the VOD of this when it comes up. It'll probably be a couple of hours for it to process. We'll try and answer them. Or conversely, I will. One thing that I've been trying to do lately on my videos is anybody who does comment, I try and take a little notepad document of the people who've commented on the last video in a series, and I'll try and answer all those questions or talk about what they've said at the start of the next episode. And I think this series that you and I are doing, Max, here, where we're just showing off what's happening with Ages of the Federation, maybe that's a really good idea for us to do. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
So,
to be fair, we're getting a lot of good questions these streams anyway. So
yeah, we get super duper good questions during the course of the streams. But if you think of a random question that you think, I could have asked that during the stream, stick it in the VOD. I'll take a notepad document of it and we'll discuss it when we get back.
Do it for the vine.
What does that mean? Max, we've discussed this. I'm old.
You grandpa.
What's a vine? Well, now we're a lad. Peas grew on them. Yeah, peas grow on vines. In pods. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching this evening. As I say, any questions, stick them in the VOD. Make sure you hit the like button as well, as long as you don't mind doing so and you have enjoyed what you've seen. If you haven't,
of course, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, thanks, Max. Yes, absolutely do. There is a little bell, or what looks like a bell, next to the subscribe button. If you like the content that Girl Survives puts out, that's me, by the way, then feel free to click that little bell, and it'll send you an email when I upload a video. Typically, I try and get one out a day. Sometimes it's more. Occasionally, it's less if I'm knackered. But guys, have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for watching.